God wants good people.
God takes good people to heaven. He wants good people to be with Him. He leaves bad people on earth. He doesn't want bad people near Him. He lets them do bad things on earth. When they die, He sends them to the devil. The devil makes them work every day. They work next to a big fire. They are always right next to the fire. They are always hot from the fire. They carry coal. The devil makes them carry heavy buckets of black coal. They carry the coal to the fire. They pour the coal on the big fire. Then they refill the big buckets with more coal. They never get a drink of water. They never get to rest.
A clean car.
He had a beautiful car. It was a Cadillac. It was a 1993 Cadillac. It was a four-door Cadillac. It was light brown. It had a big engine. The big engine didn't leak oil. The big engine didn't leak water. He drove his car only 5 miles a day. He took good care of his car. He washed it every week. He washed it by himself. He washed it with dishwashing soap and water. He dried it with paper towels. He vacuumed inside the car every week. He vacuumed it with a small vacuum cleaner. The outside of his car was clean. The inside of his car was clean. He never ate anything inside his car. He never drank anything inside his car.
Too many problems.
Emily sat down on the sofa. She had a big, soft sofa. It was comfortable. It was a comfortable sofa. She took off her shoes. She put her feet on the coffee table. The TV remote was on the coffee table. She picked up the remote. She pointed it at the TV. She turned on the TV. The news was on. The reporter said that a plane had crashed. More than 100 people died. The reporter said that a bridge had collapsed. More than 20 people died. She turned off the TV. She had enough problems at home. She didn't need to hear about more problems in the world. She had money problems. She had health problems. She had family problems. Who needed to hear about more problems?
Out of food.
He drove to the supermarket. He was out of food. He had no food in his refrigerator. He had no food in his cupboards. He needed to buy some food. He hoped he would find a sale. A sale would save him money. He walked into the supermarket. He walked over to the produce section. The apples were on sale. The bananas were on sale. It was his lucky day. He loved apples. He loved bananas. The apples were only $1 a pound. The regular price was $2.50 a pound. The bananas were only 49 cents a pound. The regular price was 89 cents a pound. He bought 4 pounds of apples. He bought 4 pounds of bananas. Then he walked over to the dairy section. Maybe the milk was on sale too.
A new pet store.
It was a new pet store. Brian walked into the new pet store. He said hello to Paul, the owner. Paul said hello to Brian. Brian said, "This is a clean pet store. This is a quiet pet store. This pet store doesn't smell." Brian looked around the store. Brian walked around the store. He didn't see any pets. He didn't see one pet. "Where are the pets?" he asked. "The pets are right here," said Paul. Paul opened a catalog. The catalog was full of pictures. It was full of pictures of pets. "Just pick any pet you like," said Paul. "We will mail it to you." "What if I don't like it?" asked Brian. "Just mail it back," said Paul.
Chop down the trees.
He looked at the rising moon. It was rising above the houses. It was big and orange. It looked bigger than the rising sun. How could it be so big? How could it be so orange? Several hours later, he looked at the moon again. Now it was high in the sky. Now it was smaller. It wasn't orange anymore. Now it was white. What happened? It changed size. It changed color. Before, it was big and orange. It was like a big pumpkin. Now it was smaller and white. It was like a light bulb, but it was still pretty. It was still bright. It was the brightest light in the sky.
The new neighbor.
The fox was brown. The fox was quick. The dog was brown. The dog was lazy. "You are a lazy dog," said the fox. "Yes, I am a lazy dog," said the dog. "Why are you a lazy dog?" asked the fox. "Why not?" asked the dog. "My owner feeds me. My owner takes me out for walks. My owner loves me. I eat. I go out for walks. I sleep. I'm a lazy, happy dog." "But don't you have any ambition?" asked the fox. "Ambition? Ambition to do what? I'm just a dog," said the dog. "Lassie was a dog. She saved people's lives," said the fox. "I'm too lazy to save people's lives," said the dog. "Let Lassie save people's lives."
The mayor is late.
The mayor was in a hurry. He was late. He drove his car faster. He didn't want to miss his plane. The traffic light was red. He went through the red traffic light. "I'm glad no police are around," he thought. He heard a siren. He saw a red light behind him. The red light was on top of a police car. The mayor didn't stop. He was in a hurry. He was late. He was the mayor. He drove his car faster. The police car followed the mayor. It followed the mayor to the airport. The mayor got out of his car. The policeman got out of his car. "You're under arrest," he said. "You can't arrest me. I'm the mayor," said the mayor.
The new neighbor.
A new neighbor moved in. Will the new neighbor be quiet? Liz wondered. The new neighbor wasn't quiet. The new neighbor was loud. He played his TV loud. He played his music loud. He talked on the phone loud. Loud, loud, loud. He slammed the door when he left his apartment. He slammed the door when he entered his apartment. Slam, slam, slam. He had a basketball. He bounced the basketball everywhere. He bounced it on his apartment floor. He bounced it against his apartment wall. He bounced it off his apartment ceiling. Bounce, bounce, bounce. Liz asked him to be quiet. "Please be quiet," she asked. "I will not be quiet," he said. Liz wanted to kill the new neighbor. Kill, kill, kill.
Chop down the trees.
"You have to chop down those 2 trees," said the fire control agent. "Why do I have to chop down those 2 trees?" asked Diane. "Because those 2 trees are a fire hazard," said the fire control agent. "All trees are a fire hazard," said Diane. "Yes, but those 2 trees are a super fire hazard," said the agent. "Why are those 2 trees a super fire hazard?" Diane asked. "Because those 2 trees are right next to your house. Chop them down," he said. Diane was poor. She couldn't afford to pay someone to chop the trees down. The agent said, "Chop them down, or I will fine you." The next day she poured gasoline on both trees. Then she set them on fire.
A book sale.
He was a famous cartoonist. He drew political cartoons. His cartoons made fun of presidents. His cartoons made fun of vice presidents. His cartoons made fun of Congress. Politicians hated him. Ordinary people loved him. His name was Paul. He put 400 of his cartoons in a book. He sold the book at a book fair. Many people bought the book. He signed the book for everyone. He autographed the book for everyone. "Why are you selling this book? Do you need extra money?" Becky asked. "Yes, I need extra money," Paul said. "The newspaper laid me off. They said my cartoons are mean. My cartoons make the politicians cry." "But your cartoons tell the truth," Becky said. "Yes, and the truth hurts," said Paul.
Don't pick up the trash.
Each September, volunteers clean up the beach. Hundreds of volunteers clean up the beach. They carry empty trash bags. They pick up trash. They fill up the trash bags. They fill up hundreds of trash bags. They put all the trash bags into trucks. The trucks take the trash bags to a landfill. The trash goes from the beach to the landfill. Every year there is more beach trash. Every year there is more landfill trash. Jill picked up trash for 3 years. Finally, she said, "People leave trash here every year. They know we will pick it up. We shouldn't pick it up. In a few years, Trash will cover this beach. People will stop coming here. They will stop leaving trash here.
Happy New Year, or not?
It was New Year's Day. He lived in Las Vegas. He drove over to a casino. He walked over to a roulette table. He bought one chip for $100. He flipped a coin. He caught the coin. It was heads. He put the $100 chip on red. The dealer spun the roulette wheel. The wheel went round and round. The dealer pushed the silver ball. The ball went round and round. The wheel slowed down. The ball slowed down. The ball dropped into a red slot. He won. The dealer gave him a $100 chip. He gave the dealer a $10 tip. He cashed in both his chips. He went home. He felt good. It was going to be a good year.
He likes that idea.
He lived in a nursing home. I don't have anything to do, he told the nurse. Why don't you watch TV? She asked. I hate watching TV. TV is nothing but reruns, he said. Why don't you play chess? She asked. I hate playing chess, he said. I always lose. Why don't you play cards? She asked. I hate playing cards. The others always cheat, he said. Why don't you read a book? She asked. I hate reading books, he said. They give me a headache. Why don't you take a nice walk? She asked. I hate taking walks, he said. It's always too hot outside. Why don't you take a nap? She asked. That's a good idea, he said. I like taking naps.
Meet halfway.
He stopped at the motel. It was late at night. It was almost midnight. He asked the motel clerk, Do you have a vacant room? She said she had a vacant room. He asked how much it was. She said it was $100 for the night. But the night is half over, he said. Can I pay half price for the room? She said yes. But there is one condition, she said. If we only get half, you only get half. You must sleep on only one half of the bed. You can use only one of the two pillows. The bathroom has hot and cold water faucets. You can use only one faucet. The cable TV has 100 channels. You can watch only 50 channels.
A loud party.
I'm calling the police, Barry said. I'm glad you're calling the police, Ruth said. Barry and Ruth had a nice house. They had a nice, quiet house. They had nice neighbors. They had nice, quiet neighbors. But tonight their neighbors were not quiet. They were having a pool party. Everyone was drinking. Everyone was talking loud. Everyone was jumping into the pool. Loud music was playing. Car horns were honking. Barry and Ruth closed all their windows, but they still heard the party. Barry called the police. The policeman said, "We'll be there in an hour or two." Barry asked, "Why not sooner?" "The mayor's having a big party," the policeman said. "Most of our officers are protecting the mayor and his guests."
Sleep in or get up?
They drove to the park. They got in line. Many cars were in front of them. They should have gotten up earlier. "We should have gotten up earlier," said Mom. "I know," said Dad. "We should not have slept in." "I know," said Mom. "But sometimes it's nice to sleep in, especially on the weekend. Weekends are for sleeping in." The line moved slowly. Finally, they were at the front of the line. "I'm sorry," said the park ranger. "We're closed." "What?" said Dad. "It's not even noon. How can you be closed?" The ranger said the parking lot was full. There was no place to park. He said to come back tomorrow. "Don't sleep in," said the ranger. "The early bird gets the worm."
Job training, but no job.
Many homeless people were sitting on the sidewalk. A young man walked up to each homeless person. He gave each person a flyer. The flyer was from a trade school. The flyer described a class. The trade school was offering a barber class. The class was free for homeless people. Matt read the flyer. He talked to the man. Matt said he wanted to take the class. The man wrote down Matt's name. He told Matt to go to the school on Monday. "How long does the class last?" Matt asked. "The class lasts 8 weeks," the man said. "Will the school find me a job?" Matt asked. "No, you have to find your own job," the man said. "We can only do so much."
Dirty needles.
It was time for the annual blood drive. He told his girlfriend, "I'm going to give blood tomorrow." She said, "Don't do that. You could get a disease." He asked, "I could get a disease? How could I get a disease?" She said, "You never know. What if a nurse trips and stabs you with a dirty needle?" He said that was ridiculous. Nurses don't trip. Nurses don't stab blood donors with dirty needles. He went to the blood drive the next day. He watched the nurses carefully. None of them tripped. None of them stabbed a blood donor with a dirty needle. He gave blood. He told his girlfriend that no one had tripped and stabbed him. She said he was lucky this time.
A hood and a hoodie.
The man walked into a bank. He wore a hoodie. He wore gloves. It was summertime. It was hot outside. No one else was wearing a hoodie. No one else was wearing gloves. The bank guard looked at the man. "Why are you wearing a hoodie?" the bank guard asked. "Why are you wearing gloves?" The man said he had a disease. He had a contagious disease. He coughed. He coughed again. The bank guard backed away. He did not want to get a disease. He stopped watching the man. He watched other people enter the bank. He forgot about the man with the contagious disease. A few minutes later, the man ran out of the bank. He was carrying a money bag.
House price goes up.
Jack paid $100,000 for his house. He had bought his house 30 years ago. It was a big house. It had 4 bedrooms. It had 4 bathrooms. Jack was alone. His wife had died. His children had moved out. His house was too big for one man. He decided to sell his house. He called up a real estate agent. She visited Jack. She looked at his house. She looked at all the rooms. She looked at the front yard. She looked at the backyard. She looked at the garage. "This is a beautiful house," she said. "I think this house will sell for $500,000. Jack said, "That's great. I will give $300,000 to my children. I will buy a small house for $200,000.
Copycat Copycat.
Lucy had a cat. His name was Pirate. Pirate was 14 years old. 14 is old for a cat. "What can I do?" Lucy asked her dad. "Pirate is old. He will die soon. I will miss him so much." Dad said, "Why don't you clone him? They will make a brand new pirate for you. It will look like Pirate. It will walk like Pirate. It will meow like Pirate. It will love you like Pirate. But it will be a kitten. It won't be an old cat. It will be a new kitten. You can have a new pirate for 14 more years." "Dad," said Lucy, "that's a great idea. Then when my new pirate is 14, I can get another new pirate."
Learn to swim.
It was summer. Swim classes were beginning. She didn't know how to swim. She wanted to learn. She called up the pool. "Do you teach adults how to swim?" she asked. The instructor said, "Yes, we teach adults how to swim. We teach kids how to swim. We teach everyone how to swim." She asked how much. "How much do you charge?" she asked. "We charge only $25 for adults," the instructor said. She gave him her name. He put her name on the swim class list. "You are on the swim class list," he said. "Your first lesson is Saturday at noon. Bring $25 and a towel." She asked, "That's all I need to bring?" He said, "I'm sorry. Bring your swimsuit, too."
Burned up.
Brad was angry. He was angry at the apartment building manager. The apartment building manager had kicked him out. "If you can't pay the rent," the manager said, "I have to kick you out." "But I always pay the rent on time," Brad said. "That's nice, but you're supposed to always pay the rent on time," said the manager. One evening, Brad drove to the gas station. He bought a gallon of gas. He put the gas into a gas can. He waited until 11 p.m. The manager lived in a corner apartment. His apartment was on the ground floor. Brad waited until the manager's lights went out. He poured all the gas in the hall near the manager's door. He lit a match.
A cool laptop.
His laptop sat on his desk. His laptop always overheated. It always overheated quickly. How could he keep it cool? He turned on his living room fan. It cooled his laptop. But the fan blew dust around. It blew paper around. He turned off his living room fan. He thought some more. How could he keep his laptop cool? He had an idea. He bought little plastic blocks. Each block was 1 inch square. He put the laptop on top of the blocks. 1 block was under each corner of the laptop. Now the laptop sat a little above the desk. There was space under the laptop. There was space for cool air to flow. The cool air prevented overheating.